What a game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose to the Atlanta Falcons 36-30. The Atlanta Falcons have now won 2 division matchups back to back. And I told you guys last week that this offense, they're headed into the right direction. This was a good game called by Zach Robinson, the brand new offensive coordinator. I will say this, the run game, they were not having much help in that department, but Kirk Cousins went out there and you got what you paid for. You paid Kirk Cousins all this money for the next 3 years. He was 42 of 58, 509 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns to 1 interception, and he did get sacked 4 times. This was not a pretty game for the Atlanta Falcons by any means because Baker Mayfield was dealing today, but you have to give Kirk Cousins and this offense a lot of credit. This offensive line, they have been without Big Caleb at the right tackle position the last 2 weeks, and to defeat the New Orleans Saints like how you did last week, and to defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like how you did today, that is going to be major moving forward, especially in this division. The Saints, they have a division win over the Carolina Panthers when they blew that team out in week 1. But when you look at today's game, it was a complete effort by Kirk Cousins and the wide receiving targets. Drake London did leave in today's game in overtime, but he was easily the best receiving target. 12 catches, 154 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown. Darnell Mooney had 9 catches, 105 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. He had a major drop in the fourth quarter. He was wide open. He drops the football, but I'm not going to say that he played terrible because he played amazing as well. It was just one bad play. Kyle Pitts, after having zero catches last game, came out this game, 7 catches, 88 receiving yards. He looked very good. And you had Hodge as well, 67 receiving yards on the day, and he had the game-winning touchdown. You obviously do not want to have Kirk Cousins go out there and throw the football over 50 times, but the run game was not working with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. Coach Robinson, even though he did call a good game, in my opinion, he called way too many screens. And I know why he was doing that, because the run game was not being very helpful, but you still have 2 very good running backs moving forward in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Now, they're on a mini bye week because they got to play Thursday, and obviously it was a short week because they played on Sunday against the Falcons. Hopefully they can get Caleb back within the next couple of weeks because the offensive line has become a major issue. Kirk Cousins doesn't have the speed to get inside and outside the pocket. He was never the most explosive quarterback, but this is a guy that's coming off a torn Achilles injury. And this is the second time this season, and we're still early into this thing, that he led the Atlanta Falcons down to basically a game-winning drive. He did the same thing against the Philadelphia Eagles as well. And the 1 interception that he had in this game, I will not blame him for. It was 4th and 15. He was just trying to push the ball deep down the field. It goes for an interception. And they also beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a time of possession. I do believe that they have found a winning formula so far. Control the clock with the weapons that you have. This is what the Falcons should look like every single week in terms of getting guys the targets when they need to, getting Drake London the football. The same with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. Run the football more with them, of course. But if Kirk Cousins can go out there and he can be consistent every single week, this is going to be one of the harder teams to beat in this division. And I understand that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were dealing with a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. So are the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons right now, they're without their big right tackle, and they're dealing with injuries as well. Drake London seems like he's going to be fine. He's doing a post-game interview right now. That's a great thing to see. But when I look at every single game this season, it has been close. They lost by 8 points to the Steelers. They did not give up an offensive touchdown in that game. They bounced back in a great way against the Philadelphia Eagles. When you look at what happened against the Kansas City Chiefs, they lost that game by 5 points. It was a defensive pass interference call that was not called for the Falcons. The defender was all in Kyle Pitts' chest, and the referees turned a blind eye to it. And then we saw what they were able to do against the Saints. They're in a lot of close football games. Hopefully this win right here can build that confidence with Raheem Morris and this entire coaching staff. When I look at the defense, they're going to have to do something to put more pressure on the opposing quarterback. Right now, they're in bottom of the league in terms of pass rush. Matthew Judon is a very good pass rusher, but you're going to need more than just him. I expect for him to go out there and possibly make a trade within the next couple of weeks if the defense does not look better, because their secondary is very solid. Their secondary is not bad. They're giving up a lot of pass yards right now because they cannot put a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterback. I look at AJ Terrell. He's a very good cornerback. Mike Hughes, he had a very good game in today's game. Yes, they gave a big play to Mike Evans, but once again, they can't rush the passer. And they did a solid job against stopping the run in the back half of the game. Early on, Bucky Irving and Rashard White was giving them a lot of problems, but Raheem Morris went out there and he made major adjustments in the second half, especially late in the third and the fourth quarter as well. And we know their safety tandem is one of the best safety tandems in the NFL, with having Justin Simmons and also having Jesse Bates, who right now is still the best cover safety in the NFL. And he was great last season. So they just have to go out there and find a way to put more pressure on the quarterback. You don't want to just go out there and blitz every single play, because if you do, look at what Baker Mayfield just did. He had 3 passing touchdowns. But when I saw what the defense was able to do last week against Derek Carr, that was a very good showing. They also did a lot of good things against Patrick Mahomes as well. They just have to be more consistent. But I expect for this win right here to build that confidence with Kirk Cousins. Run the football with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier even more. But this was a great bounce back game for Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, and for Drake London as well. Darnell Mooney has been the most consistent wide receiver. So to see Drake London go out there and have a big time game like this is very impressive. And guys, don't forget, he had a big game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season as well. He had 10 catches for 170 receiving yards in that game. And I expect for Drake London to continue to build that connection with Kirk Cousins. We also had to take this into account. The reason why they started the season off slow, Kirk Cousins was still recovering from that torn Achilles injury. He was not 100%. Now he does look healthier. It's just going to come down to the offensive line and for Coach Robinson to stop calling all those screens. But from a talent standpoint, they have the talent. In the past, the coaching was an issue. We'll see what Raheem Morris can do moving forward. And most definitely in the past, quarterback play was a huge issue with having guys like Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder. They were not good enough. You gave Kirk Cousins all this money. You don't want to see him have to go out there and throw the football over 50 times in a game. But when it comes down to games like this, when he can throw for over 500 yards, it's a great thing to see. Right now, they do control this division because they beat the New Orleans Saints and they just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we are not even close to being done with the regular season. I wish both of these teams and every single team in this division nothing but health, but this is going to be a very fun ride for the rest of the season. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about the Atlanta Falcons moving forward, and are they the most dangerous team in this division? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.